The Badlands National Park has amazing geological landscapes and wildlife. The name of the park pays homage to the native people of South Dakota. For hundreds of years, the Lakota people have called this area Makosika, which literally translates to Badlands. In addition to being a name of the national park, the Badlands is also a geological term. The lowercase version of the Badlands is used to describe most terrains that look like the formations found in this park. They're typically characterized by soft sedimentary rocks that erode easily, and the Badlands are found on every continent except Antarctica. The park is approximately 244,000 acres and is an expansive mix of grass prairie land and rock formations formed by the process of deposition and erosion. Deposition is the process of rocks gradually building up over the course of millions of years, and the layers of the rocks in the Badlands slowly stacked on top of each other. These rocks were deposited by natural forces, including shallow inland seas, rivers, and wind. The process began about 75 million years ago with the formation of the Pierre Shale at the base of the formation, and ended 28 million years ago with the Sharps Formation, the uppermost part of the Badlands stratigraphy. Erosion is the process of the rocks gradually wearing away. In the Badlands, they began eroding about 500,000 years ago as the Cheyenne and White Rivers carved their way through the landscape. The Badlands are still eroding, and it's estimated that they erode at a rate of about 1 inch per year. When we first arrived at the park, the thing we wanted to see most were bison. We read that the bison generally hang out in the prairie and grassland region near Sage Creek Rim Road, so we headed there first. The Sage Creek Rim Road is a dirt and gravel road that travels through the Sage Creek wilderness of the Badlands National Park. Sage Creek Rim Road features a number of overlooks and pull-offs, including Hay Butte Overlook, Badlands Wilderness, Roberts Prairie, and Sage Creek Basin. We stopped at a few of these overlooks before heading deeper down into the prairie land. Note to travelers: when you walk out into the prairie land to explore, it's a good idea to wear long sleeve shirts and pants or bring bug spray. The bison were incredible to see. They seem to be slow lumbering creatures, but at times they can move very fast. We had our windows rolled down and were taking photos, but as we got closer, it's a good idea to keep your windows rolled up. The bison don't seem to see you or recognize you or care too much about you, but it's a good idea to stay in your vehicle and drive slowly as you pass through them. Seeing wild bison was incredible. We've seen bison in the zoo, but there's nothing like seeing them out in the wild. We loved looking at the bison, and they were incredible to see, and one even came so close as to walk by our vehicle. After Sage Creek Rim Road, we made a U-turn and headed towards the Badlands Loop Road, heading towards the north entrance of the park. The Badlands Loop Road is a spectacular way to see the north unit of the Badlands Park. Along the Badland Loop roads, there are more than a dozen spectacular overlooks and trailheads. The rock formations here were absolutely spectacular, and we made several stops to gaze out upon the landscape. This was one of the most beautiful places on the entire trip, and we saw more wildlife here than at any other time during our 10-day adventure. Drive carefully, as wildlife is common along the loop road. We actually were lucky enough to come across some bighorn sheep near the end of this road. As you head down Badlands Loop Road, you head towards the Ben Rifle Visitor Center. This visitor center provides information, maps, exhibits, and a park film. The Ben Rifle Visitor Center is open year-round and is the main facility in the north unit of the park. You can talk with rangers, see the museum exhibits, and check out the Fossil Preparation Lab or the Natural History Association bookstore. There is also a stand where you can stamp your national park book, which we do whenever we head to a national park. We spent more than 3 hours in the park, and never once were we bored. There was always something new to see and something to keep our interest, and it was by far one of the best places we visited on this trip, and is top on our recommendation list.